Damn, only 2 likes on this, huh? Shit's gonna get no views. People don't like the loosh. Oh well. Well, I'm back from working. That shit sucked. That shit sucked, I'm not gonna lie. That shit sucked. Yep. Thursday and Friday, as you guys know, I was pulled back out of retirement. I was recalled to life, to use a Dickens term, and to a former life, and it was some ass. So there's a whole man. There's a whole bunch of shit I could talk, things I could talk about this job. Well, it's not my job, but what used to be my job. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm just glad that that's over, man. Woo! Goodness. Forgot what it's like to be a slave. Forgot what it's like to be a slave, man. Everyone's just slaves. What the hell? That's what I felt like when I was doing it. I was like, this feels like slavery. This feels like, hence the title, like I'm being farmed. Like my soul is being harvested. That's what it felt like. I was like, this don't feel beneficial whatsoever. This just feels like my soul is being siphoned away. It didn't help that I was driving not what used to be my truck, which is the nice truck, but I was driving the old truck, which is the shitty truck, because it's the truck that, um, let's just call him, a black man drives. That's not why it's shitty, but of course not. That'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy thing to say. That'd be a racist thing to say. You're even thinking about that? What's wrong with you? Um, Jonathan Aiden Scott sends the $10, interrupts my monologue and says, "Hey Marshall, have you seen any good movies lately?" That's probably more important than what I was saying anyway. Um, you know, I don't watch many movies, hardly any actually. Almost nothing. The only two movies that I've watched recently, I went to theaters to see Project Hail Mary because I had read 3/4 of the book. And I thought that was pretty good. It was decent. I liked it. Um, and then the other one was recommended to me a few days ago, actually, by my degenerate best friend. Uh, Scary Movie. I had never seen Scary Movie. And he texted me. He was like, "Man, I'm watching Scary Movie right now. Ha 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 ha! You gotta watch this shit, bruh." So I mean, I was doing nothing at the time, so I was like, "All right, fuck it. Like, I'll throw it on." I threw it on, and that shit's pretty funny, dude. That shit's a good movie. That shit was hilarious. It's a lot of good shit in that. If you guys haven't seen Scary Movie, I'd recommend it. That was back when movies were actually good. But yeah, that's it. Just those two. Thank you for the 10, Jonathan Aiden Scott. Great question. Where was I? Was I? Hey yo, pick up the phone. So I didn't know that was from that movie. I didn't know that. So when they were doing that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is the movie that's from? That was like, I don't know, for all you youngins, you probably don't know what the hell that is, but back when I was in middle school, that was everything, bro. But yeah, that movie's too stupid, man. It's just hilarious. Um, but yeah, it didn't help that I was driving the old truck, which smells like cologne and cigarettes. And it just seems to be falling apart. I haven't used it for maybe a year and a half. No, that's not right. Maybe like a year, 8 months, something like that. Ever since the other guy took over, he's ran it into the ground. Had to get an alignment. Told you guys about. I drove it one day because I just had to. I swear to God. If I think anything about this job, it's just like literally everybody that works there is just incompetent. It's crazy, but except for my boss. But even he has some issues, but yeah, the one time I drove it, you take your hands off the wheel and the thing just literally tried to commit you suicide. It would just take you directly off the road. You take your hands off the wheel for like 2 seconds, it will end your life. It was going to end your life. It just, yeah. So, of course, I had to tell my boss this. It was never told to him. This other dude was just driving it like that. He caused that. But anyway. So, I'm driving this truck. The first thing, I get in the morning and there's no phone holder. Usually there's a phone holder for your phone for like GPS for navigation. It's just gone. Gone. I'm like, okay, this is off to a good start. There's no phone holder. So I have to put it in like the cup holder like a peasant. Ridiculous. I take a picture and I blow up the group chat. My boss and his girlfriend that like kind of co-run the company, different parts of it. Don't get me started on that. They both have 9-to-5s, by the way, and he has a second business that he's running, which seems to be going terribly. By the way, he told me about it. It's a nightmare. But yeah, I texted them and I was like, "What happened to the phone holder?" They didn't know. Of course not. What? Oh my God, that's wild. They always just say that's wild. Damn. They love to say, no, it's not that's wild. They say, damn. Damn. You know how many times I've read damn? Damn. Damn. It's like that meme from Friday. Damn. Everything that I send. That's like, hey man, like what the hell's going on with this? This should be fixed. Damn. It's like they've never even knew about it. It's like, okay. Cool. And so they didn't know that. Didn't know what was up with that. Then I go in and there's 2 different types of products, 3 of which I needed, but there were none that were clean. And I'm not a cleaner. There are cleaners for cleaning. I'm the driver. I get the orders together and then I deliver the stuff. I don't clean anything. I can clean, but I don't clean. And I don't even work there anymore, okay? I'm just helping out. I'm just helping out. Like, I'm not a full-time employee. So, you know, you'd think that if a guy was just coming back to help you out, like, things would kind of be in order. What was I expecting? That would just be normal. But yeah, I was short 3 of that, and then another product we were short 8 of that. And cleaning things to the way that I would clean them, the way that I think, okay, this is clean. I mean, cleaning all that probably would have taken me 45 minutes. But of course, nobody cleans it the way that I do. Nobody has attention to detail kind of like me. Nobody's kind of, I don't know. People just don't care, bro. They just don't care. Personally, I don't really think that the products are clean. There's a good amount of them that are just not clean. But anyway, so I send a picture like, hey, we're short this, like, come on. I even say, come on, man. I sent that in the group chat. I blew him up. Come on, man. He arrives like 3 minutes later. I don't even understand. He must be teleporting or something. Like this dude's Nightcrawler or something. It doesn't even make sense how fast he got there. Like he was there literally instantly. I sent the text and he was there basically instantly. I was like, what the hell is this? I was cleaning one of the things. I was like, well, I guess I gotta clean, right? I'm just here to help out. But I'm doing you a favor, and now I'm like doing something that's not even my job. Like I'm cleaning something. But he arrives and he's like, hey man, like trying to be all positive. Like, you didn't miss this at all? I'm like, dude, this sucks. I'm like, I was literally just like, I was enraged, dude. I was enraged. I was like, this sucks. And he was like, how many do we need? How many do we need? This is the boss, by the way. The owner of the company. How many do we need? How many do we need? You need 8. Okay, I can take care of that. I was like, all right. So I start to get the other parts of the orders ready while he's cleaning this stuff. And he tries to like make like some, nice conversation, and I was done, dude. When I'm mad, like I don't say anything. So I just wasn't talking to him. And there was tension in the air. Of course, he cleans everything basically at warp speed. Like the dude's the Flash when he's cleaning stuff. But in my opinion, the stuff is not really clean. Like personally, I think they could be a lot cleaner. But of course, like the standards differ. What he considers passable and what I consider passable are different. But the customers don't really complain much, so I guess that's all that really matters. But to me, that's not all that matters. I don't care if a customer complains or not. That's not my definition of if it's passable. My definition of if it's passable is like, do I think that it's clean? But I mean, it's just, you can't. Anyway. That's been a thing ever since I worked there, is like, these things just aren't clean, And I try not to look, and it always bothers me, and I end up cleaning stuff that I shouldn't. And Christopher sends the $2, says lazy bones. Thank you for the $2. Well, the thing is, man, it's just, there seems to be a thing about my boss where if there are problems that arise there are things that I think have already should have been done, and I don't think that I should do them. He always seems to be like, okay, yeah, we can fix that, or he fixes it himself, or he's just like, he thinks that it's fine that, you know, there's problems to solve, even though I think that the problems they're preventable. That's my point, is like, I think these problems are preventable. I don't think that they should be arising even in the first place. His thing is, you know, when they arise, he likes to just take care of it and be like, oh, it's all good. You know what I mean? I'll just take care of it since you don't want to. That's kind of the vibe that I get. You know, oh, I'll just do it then. But it's like, bro, that's not the point. It's not the point. The point is that you shouldn't have to do this, and I shouldn't have to do this. These should have already been taken care of. But there's a lot of things like that. There's tons of things like that. But so yeah, that was going on. And then this truck, so we use ratchet straps to buckle everything up. And I get in the back of the truck, bro, and 2 of these ratchet straps, the buckles, are basically rusted to the point that you can't even use them. They're not even workable. The gears are not workable. So I had to go and get like lubricant and like silicone lubricant and like lubricate all the metal gears so the ratchet straps work. Because you have to ratchet all this stuff in for like safety. So this dude that's been driving it, he basically has been, we normally use 3 ratchet straps. One of them was completely busted. It didn't even work. So he was using 2 when you have to use 3. Like, there's no way you're safely using 2. You have to use 3. So he's been just letting crap just slide around in the truck, you know, just like willy-nilly, damaging the side of the truck, and damaging the side of the truck so much, in fact, that the whole track that ratchet straps clip into a track that lines the whole side of the truck, inside of the truck. The track is actually completely starting to detach from the wall itself. All these screws are gone. Like, the screws are just popped out, gone. And so a track should be like level against the wall like this. So this is the track, this is the wall. It should be level like that. Okay. So now the track's like this. It's like bowing out. It's literally bowing. So you almost can completely just rip the track off. So I get in there, the track's like falling apart. The ratchet straps don't even buckle. They're not even lubricated. There's only 2 of them when there should be 3. The front dash window, there's a huge crack all down the middle of it, because the dude that was driving it in Winter Storm Fern, an ice sheet flew off the back of a truck and hit his windshield, which means that he was following too close. That means that you're following too close. I don't want to hear it from anybody. If an ice sheet hits your windshield, you're following too close. Because it takes high speeds for ice to fly off. And I mean, usually it just hits the ground if there's some room behind it. So he's falling too close, it breaks the fucking windshield. There's no phone holder. It smells like cologne and cigarettes. It smells like, you know what I'm saying? The track's coming completely detached. The ratchet straps don't work. There's 11 products that are not clean. We're short 11 clean products. My boss has to come and clean them. And it's just like, bruh. Like, this company is, there's so many things that could be better about this company. Library Cop Sense $5 says, did your ex-boss take care of Jose? Is Jose sleeping with the fishies? No, Jose, so I'll get to Jose. So Jose still works there, but my boss hates him. So number one, okay. I'm the only guy that's ever been able to do the job in its entirety and do it like really well. The guy that I was filling in for these last couple of days, he actually can't even pull orders because he has trouble counting. I'm being dead ass about that. And no, it's not because he's black. I know that's what you're thinking. He just can't count. Okay. He can't count. He doesn't pull orders. My boss pulls all his orders, and he's been pulling them for like a year now that he's been working there, over a year. Because I was working there for basically 2 years. And he got hired maybe 4 or 3 months after me. So he's damaged the truck. There's a huge dent on the side of the truck. He's had to get the truck an alignment. He's damaged the windshield on the front of it. All the ratchet straps are like rusting. The track on the side of the truck is coming off. Like the truck like squeaks. You jump on the back of the truck's bumper and it just squeaks. The truck just squeaks everywhere it goes. It's just I even told my boss about it. I was like, hey bro, like look at this. I'm like jumping on it after the day's over. And he's like, oh. I was like, yeah, dude, it's like squeaking. What do you think of that? What do you think that is? He's like looking at it, blah, 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 blah. He thinks, oh, maybe that's the spare tire. I think it's the spare tire contraption because there's no spare tire here. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's weird because like it never squeaked when I was driving it. So I don't know if it's just like the fact that there's no spare tire there because it didn't have a spare tire when I was driving it. Hopefully it's nothing with your suspension. You know what I mean? But certain tags were just not, you get like these inspection tags, then you get the registration tags. They expire and stuff, and they're expired for like 6 months, 7 months. I tell my boss about it, just nothing happens. And there's always things that need to be cleaned when I come in the morning. We disagree on what's clean and what's not. I think that things are not really clean. He has trouble. So my boss has trouble hiring. Well, before I say that. So nobody competent can do this job. The other guys that he's gotten it, one guy completely totaled a truck. Totaled it. So he fired him and he had to buy a new one. Another guy, all the guys that he gets, they're super slow. Like it takes them twice as long to do a certain amount of deliveries and pickups that it does me and the other guy who can't count orders, right? And who damages everything, all the equipment in the truck and everything like that, right? He also like, he fucks up all the numbers of the, because you have to take a picture of the order when you deliver it and pick it up, and you have to put in all the numbers and stuff. He fucks up all the number entries, and so all the numbers are messed up on the office's end, and it's just the whole thing, man. That's why we started taking pictures, because the numbers were so messed up. I was like, dude, we just got to start taking pictures. That way you know what we dropped off and what we picked up. Pictures are worth 1,000 numbers, you know what I mean? No need to enter the numbers if we just take the pictures, even though now we're taking pictures and entering numbers. But yeah. Jonathan Dayton Scott sends $20. He says, hey Marshall, in a hypothetical, if you were, all right, I'll get to that, man. I'll get to that. I will get to that. Just let me finish my thing here. Because I got to vent about this fucking job that's no longer mine. A ton of shit happened, man. It's quite the development. But so apparently nobody can do this job. Everybody that has gotten to do it super slow. They can't find addresses. One guy makes 0 tips. Like, it's literally 0 for tips. That's unheard of. Everybody at least makes some tips. The dude just gets zeros across the board. It's almost like doesn't even ask for tips. He can't pull the stuff up the stairs. So you have to pull this stuff up the stairs. By the way, the black guy, the guy that I was filling in for, that's like ruined a bunch of crap, he uses a automatic stair climber. He uses an electric stair climber because he's like 50 years old and his back like kills him. I use an actual just regular manual hand truck. So I'm actually doing the brute work because I like it. But he's gotten drivers that literally can't pull the stuff up the stairs. Like, they're just little twigs, you know, of human beings. They have trouble finding addresses. They make mistakes. They're taking forever. They can't pull the stuff up the stairs. They don't get tips. You know, people complain about them, say it's like terrible service, all this stuff, right? He can't find anybody that can do his job. He swears, like legitimately, bro. He swears he's never been able to find anybody that can do this job. Like, the first thing he was telling me when he was cleaning the products is like, he comes over, he's like, yeah, you know, it's like all awkward and like there's tension because I'm just like enraged, bro. And this is the first time we've seen each other for like a month and a half. And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. And I was just like, what? What do you mean? Like, what? Like, this operation, this whole thing you got going? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You know, Jose, man. Jose is not, yeah, he's just not good, man. I mean, he's like, dude, he's like, you're really good at this job. Like, he's straight up said, he's like, dude, you're really good at this job. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I know. I'm the fucking GOAT, dude. I was literally made for this job. Like, it's so easy for me too. It's not even, the job's not even hard for me. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm like maxing out, I'm redlining. Like, no, it's pretty easy for me. He's like, dude, he's like, apparently Jose takes so long, like forever. He's like, I gotta let him go. So he wants to fire Jose. He's like, dude, I can't do this. He's like, he's taking like 9-10 hours for like 5-6 stops. Like, it's nuts. It's like, it just don't even make sense. He's like, he makes a ton of tips though. I was like, yeah, because he fucking talks a lot. He talks, I mean, he can talk people out of existence, bro. You know, he can talk you into oblivion, man. He can vaporize you with just words. You know what I mean? But yeah. So he makes a good amount of tips, but he just takes forever. And you know, he has trouble finding addresses, and he's lazy because he's short and he's fat, and he just eats meat. I just eat meat. That's what he told me. Of the many things he told me during our 3, 8-hour drives when I was training him. Oh, I just eat meat, Marshall. I just eat meat. Oh, yes, I just eat meat, Marshall. And he has a list, too. I just eat meat. You don't eat veggies or anything? Like some celery? No. Just meat and a little bit of queso and tortilla and the meat and the steak. Yeah, I get it, bro. The meat, yeah. Yeah, the meat and steak. Oh, yes. Yes, Marcel is very good. I can cook very good, like meat, steak, carne asada. I'm very good at cooking that. Yes, Marcel. I'm just like, bro, this huge belly out to here. He's just eat meat, Marcel. Just cooking need meat and carne asada. And I'm just like, bro, like I can't fucking do this, bro. Maybe that's why everybody's a fucking idiot. Because they're all just like, oh, I just eat meat. You know? Maybe that's why I'm good at my job. Because I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. I don't have that meat clogging up my arteries. I don't know. But he has come, my boss has come to the realization. He's like, I swear, dude, you being gone for a month and a half, he's like, I'm pretty sure that basically 80% of the human population are just incompetent. Like they just can't do anything. They can do things just barely. 20% of the human population can actually get shit done and like think and like make wise decisions and like think ahead, think through things. You know what I mean? And he basically is just like, you know, I mean, he wants to take me back like instantly, you know, and he wants me to train the next guy. So he wants me to come out and train the next guy if I won't come back and like actually just work for him again. And he knows that I don't want to work because I made it very clear. I was complaining about everything like the entire 2 days. I was just like, this sucks. Like, this is crap. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, so you don't miss this? You know, you don't miss this? You know, you don't want to come back? I was like, no. It's like, no. And he was like, well, do you mind training the next guy? Because I got to get rid of Jose, man. Like, he's just not good. And I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me, man. Like, he was good when I was training him. He was like, yeah, but the thing is, and he made a good point. He said, the thing is, man, because I had said, why don't you just go out with him and see what he's doing wrong? You know, see the things that he's doing wrong. He said, yeah, I can do that. He said, but here's the thing. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see what he's doing wrong. I'm going to tell him to not to do it. But then if he's alone again, he's just going to keep doing it. He said, some of these things can't be taught. You can't teach people. You can't just teach people anything. Sometimes people literally like can't be taught. You have to have these things. And I thought that was a great point because like I couldn't agree more with that statement. 100% in my personal experience, a lot of it is like you have to have it. And no amount of teaching somebody something is not going to make them understand it. You know? Like they don't know it. When you teach somebody how to do things and like why to do certain things, why to do it this way and why to do it that way, and what's kind of a waste of time and what's not, and what you have to think about and what you don't have to think about, you know, basically they're all inefficiencies. A lot of people spend time thinking about things that they don't need to think about. And so they end up just being a very inefficient worker. They end up wasting a lot of time, wasting a lot of mental energy on things that just don't matter. They're afraid of things that won't manifest in reality. And then they base their actions off of things that will never happen. You know what I mean? So like you have workers out here that are just completely lost in the sauce, you know? And a lot of that stuff you cannot teach. Like, hey, you shouldn't be thinking about this. Hey, this fear, not real. It's not legitimate. Hey, this, you have to focus on this. This is priority 1, then 2, then 3. They don't understand that until they realize it internally, until they understand why that's the case themselves. They're not going to do it. So it's not a matter of just teaching somebody. Most people literally cannot be taught. They can't be taught, you know? So like a lot of teaching is just like wasted. He had said the main thing about Jose and why he takes so long, why he thinks that he takes so long, one of many reasons, is that he is a rule follower. He's constantly afraid of, you know, doing things the wrong way. Every single building he enters, he has to do it the right way. He has to use, you know, he has to ask, you know, the concierge or whoever works there, what do you want me to do? How should I do this? All this stuff. I don't want to break any rules. I don't want to piss anybody off, right? He doesn't want to park in the wrong place. So he probably doesn't double park. He doesn't park anywhere that where it says you can't park, which is basically everywhere, especially in like DC, you know, in cities. It's basically everywhere you can't park. I double park. I park illegally all the time, every day. I park illegally and I double park. I do wild shit every single day. For 2 years I did it. Not once did I ever get a ticket. You know what I mean? That's a fear that's just illegitimate. It's not a real, I get that you fear that, but like you're going to have to get over that because that just hampers you. That makes you a worse employee because you're scared of something that just doesn't exist. There's no consequence. You're fearing consequences, that punishments that just don't manifest in reality. It's all in your mind. And so that's just one of the things is like, you know, so he's parking like 2 blocks away when he should be parking like 15 feet away, you know, because he's trying to find like ample parking. And it's just like, sometimes he tries to find addresses, but he doesn't want to get out and like walk because he's, you know, he's fat. Yeah, I only eat meat, Marcel, and carne asada. And so he'll like drive his truck around trying to find the address number. But you can't find the address number from a car from the road. Sometimes you have to get out on your feet. You have to use those little feet, and you got to go find the number on foot. You know what I mean? He just won't do it because he's lazy. You know what I mean? So there's like a laziness factor too. And so he's wasting a bunch of time just like driving around. They can see it on the GPS. He gets to certain addresses and he's just like, just all over the place. He calls the girlfriend because she's like the, you know, administrator or whatever. My boss he's off doing his own thing. He's got 9 to 5. He's got another business to do. I can't find the address. Blah, blah, blah. She's just like, I don't know what to tell this guy. So they're like telling me all this at like the end of the day. And I'm just like, bro, like this operation is a shit show. And like, he's basically like, dude, he's like, you gotta, you know, the thing is, there's gotta be somebody that at one point, I said something that nobody has ever told me ever in my life, and especially a boss. Nobody's ever told me this. He said, man, there's certain times where I think, man, is Marshall just making better decisions than me? It was just the eye meme. It was just like, I didn't say anything, but like I just kind of chuckled, but like, yeah. With certain things, like with operational things, I think I'm a better decision maker than he is, especially in the finer details. The devil's always in the details. This dude is not really about the details. You know what I mean? And you have to be about detail, and you have to know what details matter and what details are a waste of time. He's kind of a big picture type guy. He's got the vision. He's got the big picture. He's the, you know, I can get shit up and running. I got the funds. I got the, you know, I got the energy. He loves just to do stuff. He's constantly just a doer. Loves to do stuff. Hence why he started a second business. And the first thing he told me when he was going to start a second business, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, there's problems with this business though. I mean, this business is not like a well-oiled machine. Like, this is not pristine. This is not great. Like, you have a lot of work to do with just this business. And now you're starting a new business? Like, you're all over the place. He couldn't really tell me why he did it. He's trying to buy a house. That's why he started the first company that I work for. But then somehow 5 years into it, he still hasn't bought a house. So I was like, okay, so the whole point of why you started the first business is to buy a house. And 5 years in, you can't buy a house. And so you think you're going to start a second business to buy a house. What makes you think that 5 years into that, you're going to be able to buy a house? You know what I mean? How are you managing your funds here? You know, are you spending your money wisely? Like, it's just, there's so many parts of this business that I don't have eyeballs on. And it's just like, dude, the warehouse is a mess. Like, things are not clean. There's stations that are not set up properly. Everything's just kind of disorganized. I mean, it's relatively organized. It's not the worst thing ever, but it could be a lot better. And he just, it's just so difficult, man. And it's like, he wants me to be that guy. I feel like he wants me to be that guy who like takes the lead and like starts to make decisions and starts to like What do you want me to do? Like start hiring people, you know? Start to take on more of like what he does? But personally, I don't think that I get paid enough to do that, you know? That's my opinion. It's like I just don't get paid enough to do this. To do all that, you'd have to pay me a lot more to if you want me to do that. And even still, like I don't even know if I would do it because it's just wild, bro. Damn, my hair looks like shit. It always does, kind of though. I gotta take my sweatshirt off. I'm kind of hot. Muscle Maniacs subscribed. All right, let's get to the super chats here. Give me a second. I gotta take my sweatshirt off. Ugh. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends the $20, says, hey, Marshall, in a hypothetical, if you were granted one wish in life, what would it be and why? Also, do you genuinely like people, or do you find people to be simply unbearable to tolerate, or is it just certain people and why? Good questions. Hypothetical, if I could be granted one wish in life, what would it be? Ooh. I don't know, man. Honestly, it sounds. I was gonna say something sexual. It sounds very shallow, but I don't know, man. I'd really kill for some sex with like a hot chick. You know what I mean? That'd be nice. If I could just wish it into existence, that's like my ideal, because then I don't have to work for it. It just like appears, you know. But granted one wish in life, man, that's tough. I mean, I could say like something like, oh, like to know what the hell's going on, but then I don't know. Do I really want to? Do I really want to know what the hell's going on? It'd probably make me depressed, you know what I mean? You got to be careful of the second, third order effects of whatever wish is granted. I would say to be happy, but I don't think happiness is a continuous thing. I don't think it's a. I think it's a temporary thing, and there are moments, and so I don't really think that's a real thing. Granted one wish, to be able to fly would be cool. I'd like to be able to fly. I'd like to be able to fly because that's just dope, you know, just to be able to fly. Like, come on, that'd be sick. Um, do you genuinely like people, or do you find people to be simply unbearable to tolerate? Or is it just certain people and why? Yeah, I would say most people I don't genuinely like people in general, no. Um I find most people to be unbearable to tolerate. I would say certain people I really do enjoy. I genuinely do enjoy certain people. Like genuinely. But it's just kind of rare. Yeah. Christopher sends the $2. Says, "Do you have do you have a crush on any girls?" Uh, no crush. No, I don't really have a crush on any girls. I don't. I mean, there are no girls in my life, so I don't really have a crush. White Buffalo sends the $2 Canadian. Says, "You won't take my loosh, Marsh." Don't let me. Don't let me. Your leash is yours. I do not mean to loosh farm you guys. If I'm loosh farming, let me know. Christopher sends the $2, says give Jose a break. He's got 3 kids and works 2 jobs. He's got 1 kid and works 1 job. So he's also a part-time referee for soccer, but it's whatever. It's whack. But have you ever thought you are the problem? Oh, I most certainly am. Yeah. Yeah. But am I hesitate to think that it's always you though. I mean, there's this school of thought where it's like everything that's wrong with the world or with other people is like just you. I mean, it's just everything's just you. That's hard to accept, but I mean, maybe it's true, but I mean, there's got to be things that are wrong with the world and people, no? You can't just say that all this shit is fine. It's just you're the problem. I mean, it's a little simplistic. And plus, it's like, think about that. Think about how much hate and self criticism that is involved in that philosophical take. I mean, basically, you just live your life constantly thinking that you're the problem. I mean, who wants to live a life like that? Who wants to live a life where it's just like, you're the problem about everything. Everything that you have a problem with, everything that you think is wrong is just you. So you have to fix yourself. I mean, you're just constantly in the state of like, oh, I have to fix myself. I have to be better. I mean, that's terrible. It's got to suck to live your life like that. Isaiah says the girls all stare at me when swimming, so I'm doing something right. Probably has to do with the fact that you have like half your hair and like you look like your hair's falling out in patches. You look like you have a hair disease or something. Isaiah, I hope you fixed your haircut. How did you go from being depressed to now telling everyone what the truth is? Loaded question. Loaded. It assumes that I was depressed. It assumes that I'm telling people the truth. You fucking idiot. You guys didn't think that I had the smoothie? Think again. So, what do we think about my work situation? Should I go back? Seems like they really need me back, but I don't know, man. That shit sucks. There's so much driving, bro. And it's the commute out there is the commute to get out there sucks. It's like an hour out there, an hour and 15 minutes back every single day. On top of like 6 to 7 hours of driving. So it's like, it's terrible, bro. Like every single day I'm gone out of my house for like at least 9 hours. 7 on a good day, but most of the time it's like 9, 10. It's just like, this sucks. Library cop sends $5, says, tried to watch Isaiah and it activated my fight or flight. No joke. Yeah, he kind of has that effect. He's an acquired taste. request 80K a year minimum, dude. Try like 180K a year minimum. It says I can't hear anything. It says, don't worry, I can't hear anything Marshall is saying. I got earplugs in and my volume is at 0. So what? What? Why are you watching? This dude's so strange. Of course he's joking. I mean, he jokes about everything. He jokes about everything, but then in some regards, he's like serious. Like he'll say serious things, but then at the end, he just always says like, "Oh, for entertainment purposes only, just satire." So it's like, I mean, nobody's gonna take you seriously then. You'll never be able to say anything seriously, Isaiah. You got to pick. Do you want to be serious about things, or do you just want everything to be a joke? Just demand a $3 raise. What are you fucking nuts? $3? Right. Work will suck your energy again? Yeah. Dude, it does. Do they offer you part-time work, Marshall? I mean, yeah, I could go part-time if I wanted. I literally could get like any sort of schedule I wanted with him. He would take anything. Brian's life since $2 says, how are things with your family going? Oh, I mean, currently not talking to my mother because she caused some drama. I talked to her for 6 hours. I thought it went well on the phone after 8 months of not speaking to her. And, but I mean, I haven't seen her in like 5 years or more. She caused some drama, and then I'm just like, I'm sick of it. She gave away her dog just like on a whim. And I don't know, she's texted some stuff to like all the kids, and it's just no good, man. It just doesn't. We just know her so well at this point. I can't really get into it, but I just know her so well that it's just like, it's just the same old. It's unfortunate, but whatever. Why did this light just go out? The rest of the family, you know, it functions based off of, you know, what all families basically function off of, which is a lack of honesty. So as long as we're just not honest with each other, everything's good, you know. As long as we just say only kind things, then we can keep everything going. So that's how the family is. My stepmom is, you know, getting her dream house built. My dad takes her on vacations to all sorts of different places. They take all these videos and pictures of her, and, you know, she's having her grand old time. So, although he's having a good time too. It seems like he's having a good time, so that's good. It's not like he's miserable or anything. Christopher sends the $2, says celebrity crush. Uma Thurman is mine. Uma Thurman was hot, especially in in a lot of things, but I'm thinking Poison Ivy. Damn, she was sexy. Celebrity crush? I don't know. That chick who played was it Missandei on Game of Thrones? What's her name? Natalie something? Is it Natalie something? She's like half black. She's sexy. Super sexy. But like they're all feminists, so except for Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney seems based. So maybe Sydney Sweeney is my crush. Anybody else? What's that chick's name? I was gonna say Elle Langley, that country singer. I haven't heard any of her music, but she looks attractive. She looks hot. Christopher wants to be put in a song. Sends the $2. Thank you. Would you send $2 to say that? Huvo Duck sends the $10. Says do something funny. He wants me to Jester Max. Thank you for the $10. I don't have anything funny today. Jennifer Lawrence. J-Law is all right. $3 raise is nuts. Why? Well, because I mean, dude, to do all the things that no. My opinion, my boss or my ex-boss is he's spread way too thin. And I even asked him that. I was like, you don't think that you're spread too thin? He's like, yes, of course, like 100%. I'm spread way too thin. I shouldn't have taken on this second business, and I'm gonna just do this big job that we got coming up, and then I'm just gonna get out. I'm gonna tell my partner like, hey, you can have the business. Like, I'm good. So I think that's a good decision. Whether he actually does it, different story. But that's what he said anyway. But personally, I just think, this main business that I had worked for, I mean, it can just be so much better, and you should focus on that. Focus on the thing that actually is working. But I mean, there's so many parts of his life, and I can't see, like I said, I can't see the financials or anything. So I just don't know what's going wrong here. He loves to be busy. He loves to be doing stuff. And I think, that's kind of his greatest strength, but also his greatest weakness. He doesn't know how to relax. He doesn't know how to just like chill, and, chilling and relaxing can help you kind of think clearer and make better decisions. And he's just always like going from this to this to that, and he's always busy, and he just loves that. But it's like, bro, your life will become, and it's already starting to be, I would contend, a mess. Like, it is a mess, and your business is starting to take a hit, and the people that you hire are not good, and your cleaners are not good, your drivers are not good, your business is kind of ass. Like, there's so many things to fix about this stuff, and I just don't feel like I'm really in a position where I'm getting paid enough to, like, number one, I don't think that I don't know if I would be given the absolute liberty to fix it. Number two, I'm not sure I could fix it. I can maybe see how some things are wrong, but that doesn't mean that I have the solution. Like, I can see where the problems might be, but it doesn't mean that I have the solution. So don't think that I think that I can fix this business that he has going on. But then also, like, even if he wanted me to fix, I mean, how would he even do something like that? I don't know. It's just so many crazy elements to it. I just saw that all the reasons why I left are still happening a month and a half later, and they're worse. So I don't know. He had said, that thing like, oh, I think, sometimes I just think, does Marshall make better decisions than me? And it's like, I mean, he's like, because because you just retired and you basically like, I don't even know what you do because I don't tell him what I do. He's like, I don't even know what you do, but like you're just chilling and you got, you got time and you're like not stressing about money and all this stuff. Little does he know, I have my own stuff, but I'm not going to tell him that I have a YouTube channel. Because then he could come here and watch me talk shit about him. I'm not really talking shit about him. These are not things that I wouldn't tell him to his face. Although a lot of this stuff I haven't told him to his face. But your boss using you, be careful, don't sell yourself cheap. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, me and Al are on the same wavelength. It's not your business, it's his. He should pay you for consultations and recommendations. Do not invest in his business unless for very good money. And still, yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. Or I do agree. That's why I left, because I just felt like I was, I don't know. It just wasn't worth it. It's a weird thing, because I feel like I'm so much more capable than what I was being used for. Like I can do so much more. And yet he kind of wants to keep me where he wants me. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to give me like too much power. He doesn't want to give me like, too much money. Like he kind of just wants me where he wants me. He wants me to do something for it, like just what he wants me to do for him. Right. For me, I always felt like, well, I can branch out. Like I can get bigger. I can do more things for you. But I always felt like he didn't really want that. He wanted to sort of constrain me. And so sort of felt like I was just kind of trapped, and, not paying me. I also felt like it was just a weird thing where I felt like I could do so much more. And yet at the same time, I didn't really want to. I don't really want to do much more because I'm not getting paid enough for it. Like it's just not. You pay me $3 extra an hour, that's still not worth it. To run this company like a well-oiled machine, like to do everything like right, I'd have to be getting paid like way more. And even then, I'm not sure that I would want to do it because I'm not really sure that I even know what I'm doing or could do it. And then it's just, I'm not sure I'd want to put all the mental effort and psychological torture and in care and time into this thing that's, it's his business. You know what I mean? Like, this is your business, bro. So like, if you want it to be your and I's business, okay, maybe it's a little different thing. Maybe I can start to, maybe I'll care. And like, maybe I can start to like help out here. But like, since it's just your business and you want to keep me in like this small little role that I can do with my eyes closed, like it's not even difficult for me. And yet you can't find anybody to replace me. And yet you don't want to have me do more. Or you would have me do more, but you'd keep paying me the same or pay me like, $1 or $2 more, like nothing. I mean, I'm just not really interested in that. So that's kind of why I left. White Buffalo sends the $2 Canadian says Whoopi Goldberg is peak female beauty. Yeah, right. Yeah. He probably doesn't care if it's a shit show as long as he's making a profit. Yeah. I think he cares if it's a shit show, but his definition of a shit show and my definition of a shit show are different. He's okay with a lot. His standards are a lot lower than mine. So he doesn't really admit that something is a shit show until it's like a full blown shit show. Whereas I feel like I see kind of the makings of a shit show before it actually happens, you know? Like I'm like, okay, this is starting to feel shit showy. Like this could get worse. This is starting to I see the trajectory here. He doesn't seem to see that. He's not really he's not a preventative type guy. He's more just like when problems pop up, like I'll just solve them. And it's just like, but you don't there are a lot of problems that are preventable though, you know, that shouldn't be popping up. And that's just something that we kind of differ on. When was the last time you did a good act for someone else? Oh, yesterday I was in a Whole Foods and I held the door open for an old lady. Let's fucking go. That was after I didn't hold the door open for another old lady though. So I was just evening it out. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends $5. He says, I've learned in life you can't please everyone no matter how hard you try. It's pointless to worry about trying to. Your thoughts on it, Marshall? No, yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely. I 100% agree. 100% agree. I don't really have much else to add to that. Easier said than done, though. Easier said than done, I will say that. But yeah, you can't please everyone. You can't even please, I mean, majority of people. I mean, so you might as well just let go of that. Is it at the library? He says our lives are so similar. Salvatore says, if you want to know a man's standards, look at their facial hair. Is it long and scraggly or is it carefully crafted and trimmed? Marshall has high standards. That's our boy. Dude, I mean, I have not trimmed this at all. I have not trimmed my hair at all, so. I've just been rotting. I feel like it's only a matter of time before all of this gets like hella scraggly and gross. Why is your room so dark? Because I have to set the mood. Gotta set the mood for you guys. Gotta get you guys wet. Why does everyone want me to like grow everything out? What is this? You guys want me to like grow out my hair, grow out my beard? What are we doing, guys? I've had long hair before. I've had a ponytail before. I've had a man bun before, so I can do it again. It's no problem. Oh, there is some news about Chang, though. So somebody had made a comment in the previous live stream because I was talking about how Chang's cleaning everything. And like he was cleaning the windows, he was cleaning like the storage room down here. He was cleaning the stairs down here. He's cleaning the walls. He's cleaning like everything upstairs. You know, like he's just making a ruckus, going crazy, right? He was cleaning the porch. He's cleaning the porch, bro. He was like dumping water down the porch, and he was just on his. You know how the Chinese they get on like they're in a squat position and their ass is basically touching the floor, like they're like expert squatters. This dude was squatting like like, you know, fucking 1300s China, you know what I mean? Like peasant level. Like it was peak. And he was just like cleaning the porch as I go up there to get my Uber Eats. He's like, "Hey, Masha." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, man. Preach." And somebody had made a comment and they were like, "It sounds like Chang is cleaning the house in order to sell it." And of course, you know, that sent a wave of panic through me like lightning. And I was just like, so I look up, I talk to Chad GBT. I say, "Hey, man, do people clean their house, like deep clean before they put it on the market to sell?" And he says, "Yes, absolutely." He says they do everything. They clean the windows, they clean the front porch, they clean the back patio, they clean the floors, they clean the walls, they clean the stairs. Like, and I was just like, okay, I was like checking off. I was like, "Yep, Chang's done that. Chang's done that. Yeah, Chang's done that." Like literally every box was checked. I was like, "Oh no." So I text Fong, and which is his son. um, I text Fong, and I'm like, "Yo, I noticed that your dad has been cleaning a lot lately, like everything, basically." I said, "Is it with the intention to sell the house?" And he responds and he says, "No, no, no." He says he's going back to China for uh, a good amount of months this year. And he says so he likes to clean everything before he leaves. And I was like, yes. I was like, let's fucking go, boy. Chang is leaving. Chang is leaving. Let's go. I love it. I literally read that and I was just like, yes. Fuck yeah. Just me and Fong. Let's go, boy. Chang is out. Chang is out for a few months. That's what we need. Chang needs to go back to China, bro. He's losing his mind. So, Isaiah Parsons at $2 says, "Take it easy." Thank you, Isaiah. I will. You take it easy, bro. Hmm. Library Cop says, "As a realtor, please know that." Oh, you're a realtor, huh? "Please know that if Chang sells, the next owner has to honor your contract." Well, currently I don't have a contract with Chang and Fong. Um, I'm month to month. I didn't sign like a new lease or anything, so I mean I probably should, but parents out, yeah. So me and Fong are we're gonna get all the bitches up in here, bruh. All them black bitches up in here in fucking thongs, dropping it, twerking, fucking cutting lines, cutting coke, cutting heroin. Listen to that trap rap. uh, Fong? Yeah, Fong is his son. I mean, that's not really his name, but I can't use their names, bro. I mean, I probably could, but yeah, Fong is the son, Chang is the father. The Chinese boys from China. China. So. How old is the son? I think he's a little younger than me. I want to say he's like 28 or 29, maybe 30. I did some tanning today. 18 minutes on the back, 18 minutes on the front. It's pretty good, but I look like God. I hope I lose weight soon. Just look so chubby, dude. Hold up, I'm looking up the Rome women's final. Svitolina. Wow. I'm sure Goff took that hard. Svitolina won. Jonathan Eden Scott sends the $5. He says, thank you for the $5. He says, do you have any comments for your biggest haters in life, Marshall? No. I do not have comments for my biggest haters. Yeah. As I get ready to think of a comment. No, I just like, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you gotta think haters are kind of your biggest fans. Your biggest haters are your biggest fans. Kind of the same. One and the same. Yeah, library cop, I don't tan either. I just burn. I either burn or I just stay white. Kind of sucks. The thing is, I think you got to go for small increments of time out in the sun. People with fair skin like ours. Got to do like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, start small, and then like incrementally just like add a minute, every week or something. I was thinking about doing for my next video, I was thinking about doing rot yoga. Cause I actually have done quite a bit of yoga. And I haven't done it for a while, but I watched like a ton of yoga with Adrian, and I was thinking, I could just do some yoga for the people and just say like random shit while I'm doing yoga, just like walk you guys through a yoga routine, because I know it like off the top of my head. Like I've done this yoga things like so much that I actually remember it by heart. So I could lead you guys through a yoga as like, I would probably title it Rot Yoga for People in Extreme Poverty or something like that. And like, it would just be like an absolute joke, but I'm thinking maybe that's the move. Because I don't really know what to post as like a individual video anymore. Although now that Chang's leaving, I could bang that piano, man. Honestly, I've been hesitant to play the piano for you guys because, number one, nobody watches the fucking videos. I mean, I get it. I get it. I should be okay with that though. I should post them anyway, but yeah, I get worried that Chang's up there, just plotting my death. You want to go to a metal concert with me? Adam, I don't even know you, my boy. Can't really go to things with people I don't know. Bro, try bear crawling. That shit's tough, dude. You're telling me, bro. Bear crawls almost killed me in the Navy. I can't tell you. Bear crawls are my kryptonite. I am the all-time worst at bear crawls. Like, legitimately. Quickest way to kill me is just have me do bear crawls, bro. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends the $5. He says, do you have anything to say to all your followers who love you, Marshall? Thank you. Thank you, guys. You're geniuses. You got great taste. You're just truly amazing people, you know? Truly amazing. And you get it, you know? You get it. You're the best of the best. Don't let anybody tell you different. Thank you. Thank you. Truly, thank you. Even when I don't even know how to be genuine, bro. Like, honestly. I feel like I just don't know how to be genuine. It's probably a defense mechanism. I got Debussy vibes from your piano playing. Inspired me to maybe practice. That's good. That's what I aim for. Inspiring people to maybe do something. Burpees are worse. Burpees are pretty bad too. Yeah. Burpees, especially jumping burpees. Yeah, those are pretty terrible. Bitch ass can't even do 100 push-ups. Yeah, I can't. Not in a row. I know how to be genuine, but negatively. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I'm the same. Oh boy. Just another day on the internet, huh? Just another day on the internet. I kind of want to talk shit about Yumiverse. Yumiverse has had her channel for like 2 months. And she already has more subscribers than me. Dude, I'm telling you, if you're an attractive female, it's easy. It's just you're living life on easy mode. It's like crazy. It's like genuinely crazy. Like, oh, I'll just fire up a YouTube. In 2 months, I'll have 26,000 subscribers. Cool. All right. Just be an attractive female. That's all it is. This fucking sucks. You know how depressing that is to see that? Because you know what it is? It's just dudes. It's just dudes that watch her stuff, bro. They just want to watch her and just like, you know, maybe rub one out to her or just kind of like think that maybe there's a shot someday down the road, you know, like a long chance. Just all these dudes. Just like a virtual, what is she, like a virtual girlfriend or something? It's just like, dudes are down bad, man. You know it's bad when like chicks just have to, like, she's not even like the most attractive female in the world. Like, she's attractive, but she's not the most, you know? There are plenty of women that are just that attractive. Just fire up a YouTube. That's it. That's it. 2 months. It's just like, damn, bro. Oh. I'm hating. I'm hating. I know I'm hating. But she just has it so easy. She doesn't know how easy she has it. What's even sadder is even the mid ones just get just as much attention now just for being mid. Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy. Makes me sick. Makes me sick, dude. Who's Yumiverse? She's a YouTuber. Asian. Maybe that's why I'd never started a channel. Yeah. I mean, if you're a woman, you'd always have to think about that. I mean, if you're fine with just like, getting views and like gaining publicity and popularity and like getting money just for being attractive, then, and not actually for like anything that you're saying. I mean, she's not like, I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of her stuff, but it's not like she's an idiot, you know. She's funny. She's got some good stuff, but most of it's because of the I don't know. You just always have to wonder how much of it is because of the way she looks. I mean, I guess you could say that about me too. If I didn't look the way that I look, if I looked like fucking gremlin, you know, fucking garden gnome or something. Yeah, I guess people just don't. Yeah. Say the same thing. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends a $5. Says, Marshall, would you tell someone the truth if you knew it would hurt their feelings or no? Yeah, I have. Yeah, I do. I do. I believe that that's kind of it's kind of what's wrong with like most friendships and relationships is people um well probably more so friendships, but is that you don't tell people the truth. Um even because it'll make them feel a certain way even if it's and here's the thing. Here's the thing. The weird thing, the truth, I mean the truth that's so when I tell people the truth, what I mean by that is I tell them what I think of them. I tell them what I think, what might be going on with them, or like what I think, right? However, I'm the first one to acknowledge that what I think of you and what I think of what's going on doesn't mean that it's true. It just means that that's what I think, right? And so when I tell people like something, that I think will hurt their feelings, I don't ever really say this. I probably should, but it's never with the intention of, hey, like I'm telling you this and this is the truth. What I think about you, like this is what's actually going on. I'm able to understand that like my opinion is just my opinion. Like what I think is just what I think. However, I think it's still important to communicate that. Even if it's not true, even if it's not like objectively true or whatever, I still do think that it's important to tell people actually what you think of them. I don't know. However, I say this as a person who like I tend to think I'm not really as sensitive as most people are. I think I'm okay with criticism. I'm okay. I think I understand that it's, I don't really get defensive, I don't think. I tend to always approach people's like criticisms or their opinions of me with like an open, like sort of as much of a rational frame of mind as I can, but doesn't mean that I'm, obviously I'm not perfect, but like my friend the other day, there's a good example. My best friend, degenerate friend, um when I was down there last, we were playing tennis and we were playing doubles, and me and him were on the same team. And of course, as you guys know, like I hate to lose, and we lost because we always lose. Because I mean, it's just what happens now. Just always lose. I can't remember the last time I won at tennis, but we lost, and we lost 3 sets in a row. And afterward, I just wasn't really talking because I just get in a mood, man. Like I was just so tired of losing, and I was just like I was pissed. So I just wasn't really talking. And for him, that's kind of rough because like he, you know, he wants to like fix that. He wants to fix that immediately. He doesn't want me to be down. He doesn't want that to be the case, right? He thinks that maybe like that's something wrong. Whereas I guess I don't really feel like that's something wrong. You know, if somebody's in a mood or if they're having like a moment or if they're like kind of losing it, I feel like that's appropriate. Like that's just kind of what they have to do, you know? Like that's just like human nature kind of. Like I try not to judge that. You know, I try not to be like, oh, you got to fix this. You know, if a woman's like crying on your shoulder and just like losing it or whatever, it's not like, oh, you have to stop this right now. It's just like, all right, like, okay, like do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, you can't take it. Like, you don't want to try to fix that, or you don't want to try to correct that about a person. But he wants to correct that. He wants to fix it. And I just told him like, hey, man. He's trying to like brighten the mood and like talk about, you know, nonsense crap again. Like nothing just happened. Like we didn't just lose 3 straight sets. And I'm still just kind of like losing it in my head, you know? So we're like driving back to his crib and I just like don't want to talk. Right. And then we get out and he was like, it's okay, man. You'll get better. You know, when you move down here eventually, because we talked about that, you know, over the years. When you move down here eventually, we're gonna play all the time and like we'll get better and all this stuff. And I'm like, in the moment, I was like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna move down here. he was like, why not? And I was like, cuz dude, like you just what did I say? I said your particularness gets to me, because like there's other things about our friendship, you know, just little things, you know, just people are the way they are. And I was like, you're just very particular. He is my friend is very particular. And I was like, your particularness just gets to me. And he was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I need you in doses. That's what I said. And even though maybe that was hurtful, and he's the type where he doesn't like confrontation, right? He doesn't like conflict. He doesn't like any of that, right? And so, especially I think when he feels maybe hurt or he feels like kind of defensive in a way, he doesn't want confrontation. He just wants to like paint over it and just like pretend like it's all good, right? And which I understand. And maybe that was a hurtful thing to say, but I felt like I had to say it in the moment. And what I should have said is like, hey, just because I said that, just because I said your particularness gets to me and that, you know, I can't move down here and like I need you in doses. Just because I said those things doesn't mean that Doesn't mean that like anything's wrong with you. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean like I don't still love you and you're not still like my best friend. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean like anything's changed between us. You know what I mean? That's difficult to convey to somebody. It's difficult to convey like, hey, I want to be open and honest with you, but I also need you to understand that like, you know, it doesn't, this isn't like, you know, I don't like hate you or I don't like think less of you or anything like that. And plus, like it was in the moment. I just lost at tennis. I was in a mood. How much of that was actually true or how much of it was like clouded by emotion? I'm not sure, right? Um, I mean, should I just not say stuff like that? Sometimes I feel like you have to be able to say stuff like that and get that stuff out. I feel like it's healthy for him to like kind of know that and for us to kind of work through that. You know what I mean? I talk about my friendships like their relationship, but um, but yeah, I should have told him like, you know, it's, I don't know, but you can't help whether somebody takes something defensively or not, you know, whether somebody takes offense to something or not. And just because somebody's offended, I mean, we can't, the problem with me is like, I can't be one of those people where it's like, I'm not going to say things if they offend you, right? I don't want people to just tell me things that they think are nice or like aren't going to offend me. I mean, that shit's terrible. That's just ass, bro. Like, no, be honest with me. But it's got to be honest from a point of, your honesty has to come from a point of like, you're not trying to change me. Like, I don't want to change my friend. When I said your particularness gets to me, I don't want to change his particularness. You know, I don't want to change who he is. That's not what I mean. I'm not like, oh, you have to change this about you. It's not that. It's just your particularness gets to me, bro. You know what I mean? I think it's good to share that stuff. So like we know like what gets to each other and like we understand when, you know, things are kind of going on or like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. It's hard to communicate, but Lutustro says, but you don't see him as an equal, right? What? What? That's a wild question. Of course I see him as an equal. He's white. Yeah, definitely fueled by your emotions. Yeah, for sure. 100%. But maybe you needed to hear that in a particular way. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Jonathan Hayden Scott sends the $5. He says losing in general can bring the worst out of people sometimes. It's how you deal with those moments that matters. So you agree? I do. I do agree. And clearly, you know, I guess I have some work with that, but like there's clearly emotions are like a part of the human experience. It seems like people, they want to get rid of like, sometimes it seems like people want to get rid of emotional expression that's negative, but they still want to keep emotional expression that's positive. I'm not sure you can do that. If you want to get rid of emotional expression, or the way rather that like emotions dictate your behavior, like your actions, how they influence it, I'm not sure you can isolate like that. Like, oh, only get rid of bad emotions and just have good emotions. I feel like it's kind of general. Like if you get rid of the bad emotions, you also get rid of the good. So if you're trying to make yourself less emotionally reactive, and like you feel emotions a lot less, or emotions don't dictate your behavior as much anymore, well, then you're going to have to understand that the trade-off of that, yes, you won't have as many negative emotions influencing your actions, but you're also not going to have as many positive emotions either. So you don't have the lows, but you also don't have the highs. But that's one kind of aspect to it. And then another aspect is like, is emotional expression that's termed bad, is it actually bad? I mean, it happens. Like it's human nature. Everybody has it. Everybody gets mad. Everybody gets sad. Everybody gets, spiteful, and they say things they regret. And everyone has trouble harnessing difficult emotions like anger and fear and jealousy and sadness, right? Especially anger for men. I don't know. Maybe for women too. I don't know how much anger is a thing for women, but for men, I would think that anger is the main one that we struggle with. Anger for men is like very hard to get a hold on, get a firm grasp of. So, a man acts out angrily. Like I watch it in tennis all the time. If you ever watch professional tennis, it's true that the best tennis players in the world, the ones who win all like the majors and stuff, they are the best at handling their emotions. You rarely see them lose. They're cool. Um, they're very good at navigating difficult emotions, different points in the match. Um, all this stuff. But there are a slew of other tennis players in the top 50, the top 20 even, top 10 even, that they struggle with emotional control, and they will lose it. They'll literally obliterate the rackets on the court. They'll hit themselves. They'll get in shouting matches with the chair umpires. They'll do crazy stuff, bro. Like they'll start shouting at people in the stand. Like people absolutely lose it. And like, it's kind of this thing of like, women, we don't really blame women when women are emotional and they're kind of like losing their shit and they're crying and they're being all crazy and wild. And it's just like, we always just say, oh, they're just a woman. Like they're being emotional. It's okay. Like she has to be able to do it. But then like when men like lose their shit and are like angry and like slamming things and like losing it, all of a sudden, like, oh, that's bad. Like, we shame it. Like, oh, men should be able to, like, handle their emotions and they should never get angry and you should never, like, it should never be expressed. And it's like, I don't know. Yes, we can acknowledge that those are harmful. Like, not having control of your emotions is harmful. But at the same time, you can acknowledge that if a person is expressing their emotions, you kind of have to let them do it. You can't, shaming them for it, I think just kind of makes it worse. You have to be able to say, hey, like, it's okay to do this. But kind of a thing of like, you have to understand that this is kind of, it's not productive, but it's okay that you're doing it. Like, have space for people that kind of, have difficulty, with their emotions and stuff. But I don't really express my when I'm angry, I don't really express my emotions outwardly. Like I don't lose my shit or anything. Like we lost the 3 sets of tennis. And my reaction is I completely shut down, right? So my buddy thinks that like I'm supposed to lose 3 sets of tennis and I'm just supposed to just be like, hey, like, hey, just like bounce back like he does, just like, hey, it's all good, like all, it's just great, and in a sense, sometimes I feel like that kind of attitude towards emotion, towards anger, towards any sort of reactive emotion, right? There's two things here. If he is actually that type of person where he doesn't feel that's like he's just fine, right? He's actually just genuinely fine. Like he's just good. Okay, then I would probably say that he's fairly emotionally healthy. Like he just has good balance, good equilibrium, like for whatever reason, right? Maybe he has a great childhood. I know that he has a great childhood. He has a great family around him. Like he grew up great. He says it all the time. Like he grew up great. He had no issues like growing up. It was just all roses, right? So that might have something to do with it. I grew up differently. And and so that could be one thing, but it all also could be, and I think this is a lot of it for people, is sometimes people seem on the surface like they handle emotions well and like, oh, like just everything's good, it's all great, like I just lost 3 cents of tennis, like it's all good, like whatever. But if there actually is like still a lot of anger in you and you're just suppressing it, you get really good at suppressing it and not giving it an outlet and just kind of not feeling it, then I feel like that's kind of a sickness of society where like people are they're starting to be ashamed of their emotions, of emotional outbursts or expression or anything like that, especially negative ones. And so they suppress these things to act as if they're normal, so people don't shame them because it's good to have emotional control when really you're you're a mess internally. And I think that sometimes these emotions have a way of expressing themselves in other ways. Anything that's not really acknowledged or worked through or expressed or felt in a genuine way, I think has, it can manifest, it can express itself in other ways. What those are is all different for all sorts of people, but I don't know. I don't really like to feel like my buddy was like, dude, you can't be so down. You got to be like blah 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 blah. It's like I get it. I get where he's coming from. Like I get like he's trying to like fix it and just make everything good like instantly, but I also would like him to have some space and just be like understand that, you know, it's not necessarily a negative thing to be angry about losing something. It's not necessarily to be angry as a man, you know. Like anger is a normal part of the human experience, and you just kind of have to work with it. But there's the, the main thing about like modern society is like there's this huge spiritual movement, like modern spirituality, like, oh, you have to be spiritual, but also what looks spiritual on the outside can be just suppressing on the inside. It's emotional suppression. It's not actually that you've worked through anything. It's not that you've felt. I I think that truly the best people at emotional control and feeling their emotions and emotional expression are the people who feel their emotions the most, you know? And they express them, I think. I just can't, I don't know. There's got to be everybody always like shits on emotions and like you know, you're just we're all supposed to walk around as like robots and shit, like just not getting, not losing our shit about anything, not getting high, not getting low, like we're all just like just zen fucking okay, like maybe, but like what? That's a long time from now for like the entire human population. I mean, that's like what 10,000 years from now, maybe, if we even last that long. Thanks, Isaiah, for the $2. Debbie says, Marshall, you need to talk to my mom. Moms are tough, man. I can't even talk to my mom. I mean, I can talk to her, but she's crazy. Library cop says, my dad was a district attorney. He would tell us about all the horrific things he saw. He had a narcissist mother, so he made sure he could traumatize my brothers and I as much as possible. Jesus. The root of his anger issues are his mother. It's all about the mother wound, says Wolf White. For sure. I mean, there's a lot of anger that was given to me by my mother. My mother is she was a very angry woman. I still think she is, but a small element could also be my father, and then you don't. How much do we blame on other people though? Some of this has got to just be me, right? Got to take accountability, right? You think this whole decade's been about emotional crap? I feel like this whole decade's been about just like spiritual crap. Have you read the background story of Bjorn Borg, famously generally considered the most stoic tennis player ever? I have not. I do know who Bjorn Borg is, but never looked into the background. Isaiah sends the $2, says, this is a great conversation. You the man, you the man. Thank you, Isaiah. Finally. Damn, Isaiah finally approves. He's been shitting on everything I've done lately over the last like 2 weeks. Glad you finally approved, man. Spiritual stuff is the only way to go. It's the new age crap that's dangerous. Yeah, but like spiritual is like, I don't know, man. I feel like true spiritual stuff is not really like, it's nothing mainstream. All the mainstream stuff is just garbage. Spiritual stuff is pretty like, I don't know, it's like niche, man. It's like not very. Debbie says, true, my parents are literally unemotional. I have all the emotions, but they never show only anger. I never see my mom cry, and that's hard. She's a very abusive person emotionally. I could never. Damn, that sucks, Debbie. Sorry. Yeah, to never see your mom cry, that's pretty wild. I've seen my mom cry, yeah, but not a lot. Not a lot. Usually it's kind of hard to believe too. I don't know, there's always something performative about her crying. But Yeah, that's rough. Never seen your mom cry. Yeah, people who grow up with like perfect family situations feel like they don't really understand. Well, for sure they don't understand like, you know, just how shitty it is to how much they're at an advantage, from like a psychological, emotional health standpoint than most of the human population. People who grow up with like crazy families, like, I don't know. It's tough. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends the $5, says, some say that breastfeeding affects mental health development. Do you agree with that, Marshall? I haven't really looked into any of that. I don't really have an opinion on that. Not educated. Seems like it would, right? Seems like it would. Borg was once the most horribly tempered player ever, worse than McEnroe. He had a giant wake up call. Interesting. I think Federer had something similar. Federer was originally a hothead when he was a younger player, but then Federer became one of the most stoic players. That's crazy. Hard to be more worse tempered than McEnroe. That's crazy. And to fix it, wonder what he did. Isaiah sends the $50. Says, Marshall, this stream, everything hitting, ocean waves are active. Hell yeah, bruh. Hell yeah. Thank you for the 50, Isaiah. Glad everything's hitting you at once. Yeah, you grew up in survival mode, Marshallito? Yeah, 100%. 100% I did. I feel like my entire life has been me trying to like slowly get out of survival mode, you know? It's kind of wild. Isaiah by the beach, huh? By the beach in Maine? Is it a good day in Maine? Is it warm, Isaiah? I see you've taken me off mute. You've turned the volume up now. Taking the earplugs out. Just because she doesn't cry doesn't mean that she's not emotional. That's true. That's true. That is true. You can suppress things for a while. Dude, for the longest time, like I was trying to be, because I had gone through, as you guys know, I struggled with panic attacks for a good amount of my life. And I I had to I felt like I was losing my mind and I basically stumbled upon like I think it was Adyashanti and Eckhart Tolle, and they were just kind of like the two guys that I just watched. Like I just binge watched them for like a year straight, just trying to survive, like these constant panic attacks. And that's kind of like how I got introduced to the whole spiritual thing. And but then I feel like it kind of made me suppressed in a way because I took a lot of those teachings and like I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not okay to have. I tried to like be a spiritual person. Like I'm now that I have control of my mind, now that I've gotten over these panic attacks, now that I didn't take drugs for them, which was always a win. I never wanted to take pills. Now that I've done this, I got to be like, stoic, and got to control my emotions and all these things that are characteristic of spiritual people. But what I ended up doing is I just suppressed everything, because I just every negative emotion that ever came up, I didn't express it. I just I just bottled it down, and you just thought that I was better than that. I thought that I was better than expressing something. I thought that it was weak to express things, and I just became very emotionally suppressed, just very suppressed. So yeah, you got to be careful with the spiritual stuff. It it's one thing if you genuinely don't feel strong emotions. That's one thing. If you genuinely don't feel strong emotions, and you're just kind of like, you just feel like very light all the time, okay, well then you're probably pretty spiritually advanced. You're probably at a state not many people are at. But what that person looks like on the outside can seem similar to what a person who feels still very strong emotions, anger, jealousy, resentment, contempt, sadness, guilt, shame, and yet doesn't express those things, and just kind of stays, stoic, because they have this idea that they have to be a spiritual person. They have to have the outward affectation, appearance of a spiritual person, but they're not inside, because they still have all that crap going on inside of them. Eventually, it will find its way out. Eventually, all these things find their way. So, but those two people look similar on the outside, which is weird, because internally they're completely different. They're at completely different stages. So it's rarely about what, I don't know. It's interesting. But again, pressure exposes people to, when the pressure is on, when the chips are down, when people are exposed to stressful situations, things that demand a lot of emotional bandwidth, a lot of health. You'll see which one of those people actually is for real. Pressure has a way of exposing the true power of a person inside. Isaiah sends the $2. He says today is 70. I was in the 40-minute wave. Mucho chicas. All right, so Isaiah's living it up. He's in the ocean with women. He's feeling good. He's sending me money today. Thank you for the 100. Appreciate it, Isaiah. Feeling good. Says the chat is muted, though. He doesn't listen to any of y'all. Damn. Library cop says, dude, Isaiah, take that money, get a hotel room, and take a shower. He's taking a shower. He's in the ocean. That's the best shower. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends $5. He says, does it matter to you whether or not you leave any kind of legacy in life, Marshall? Ooh. Oh. Jonathan Aiden Scott's got some good questions. Hard to answer. Yeah, Yeah, I would say it does matter to me, but I don't know. I just don't really spend I don't think about that though. It's I don't wake up and I'm like, "Oh, I got to focus on my legacy today. Like what legacy am I leaving behind today?" I don't think about my legacy, but I don't think about that term. But I think it still matters like kind of what I do here, like what people kind of knew me for. Although I do have days where I kind of think, you know, if people misunderstand me, like I don't really give a shit. Like whatever, they can go fuck themselves. Like you either get it or you don't. Library cop says my three brothers were fine. They didn't struggle with panic attacks like me. Anxiety, yes, but not panic attacks. Yeah, anxiety is not panic attacks. Those are different. Yeah, panic attacks are like anxiety on 1,000, on 1,000,000. Panic attacks are literally the worst thing ever. Anybody who's never had a panic attack, I hope you never have one. Panic attacks, yeah, they can come from anything, really. I mean, they can come from all sorts of crap. I think it runs in families. My family had them though. I was the only one of my family that had it. I have some theories as to why I had them though. Oh shit, he sends the $5. He says I can't send enough to get the head shave. What the fuck? It says daily limit is $500 on super chats. Can I send it some other way? The daily limit on super chats is $500? Really? I kind of like that. Maybe I'll have to change the I'll have to change I don't want to be honestly, I don't really want to shave my head, so I don't want to help you out. I don't want to help you out with that. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll change the rules to the stream has to make $1,000. So from everyone's super chats, if everyone super chats enough to make it $1,000, then I'll shave my head. Because I don't think that will ever happen. At least not for a while. Wolf White sends the $5. Says hugs for my Marshallito. Thank you, Wolf White. Thank you, Wolf White. Always very affectionate, Wolf White. Giving me hugs, giving me kisses. Thank you. YouTube takes 30% super chats. Yeah, I know. I should probably start streaming somewhere else. I do have a Kick. I have a Rumble as well. Jose, since the $2, you don't want $1,000? All right. I mean, I don't know, Oh man, makes me feel weird. Somebody sending me that much money just makes me feel weird. I would rather have, you know, $100 from 100 people than no, $10 from 100 people. I'm trying to do math. $10 from 100 people than $1,000 from one person. $1,000 from one person just makes me feel weird. See, Marin's calling me retarded again. Let me know if you change heads. Will do. Al, you've had panic attacks too, huh? Damn, that sucks. Lasted a whole day. Yeah, that's rough. Couple weeks. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, they fucking suck. What fears did you have? You don't have to share if you don't want, but I'm curious. What fears? It's interesting to get what other people fear so much that it causes them a panic attack. Because I have certain things, but it's interesting to see what other people. If you were like say like spiders or something, I'd be like, what the fuck? You ever thought about streaming on Kick? Yeah, I've thought about it. I just don't have I have like 8 followers over there on Kick, so. Would you ever have a female on your stream? I mean, I don't have anything against it, having a female on my stream. It's not anti-female, but I mean, how that would come about, I don't really know. Plus, I wouldn't have just like any female on my stream. I'd have to make sure that it was somebody that I genuinely like enjoy or felt at least like we could have a interesting conversation or it would be entertaining. I couldn't just bring like any female just to have a female on. Have you listened to Iceman? No. I've seen that question a bit. Say, since the $5, it's all my money straight from the Federal Reserve printer. I'm just sending it back to where it goes, Mr. Marshall. Thank you. Thank you, Isaiah. Yeah, the Federal Reserve don't need that shit. That's another $2. He says, I don't want it, Marshall. Too much money. Come super chat me later, Marshall. Thank you, Isaiah. James Espinosa wants me to talk to Honey Ram. I'm already talking to Honey Ram on email. Although she hasn't responded, I sent her a message like I think it was a couple days ago now, coming up on 3 days. She hasn't responded. Maybe she's ghosted. Is she ghosting me? Am I getting ghosted by the Honey Ram? By the Ram of Honey? Am I getting ghosted? By a mystic? By a mystic in the mountains? A European mystic in the mountains is ghosting me? Come on, bro. Come on. Yeah, that was pretty gay super chat. It was starting to get hella gay. Isaiah, with all that money, you could buy like a good camera. You could buy some lights. You could really deck out that live stream situation in your car. Why are you giving it to me, bro? Isaiah fucking doesn't even make sense to me, bro. Either Isaiah is crazy or he's like a Buddha or something. You know, it's just like there's no in between. Either he needs to be in a mental institution or he's like, you know, the next coming of Ramana Maharshi. She's loosh farming you? Ani Ram's loosh farming me? Yeah. I've considered it. I've considered it. Everyone's loosh farming. Al, have you gotten over all those fears? Those are all pretty substantial. Those are big ones. Fear of death. Yeah, fear of death. I don't like being afraid of death. I'd probably say I don't feel like I'm afraid of as afraid of death as most people are, but I still feel like I'm not. I don't want to be afraid of death at all. You know what I mean? And I'm not at that point yet. I'm trying to get to the point where I just don't fear death at all. But my boy asked me something interesting the other day. He said, "Do you ever pray?" And I was making some food in the laundry room. He's on the phone. He's like, "Do you ever pray?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "No, I don't. I don't pray." Because he was like, "In any meaning of the word," and I was like, "Well, what?" I mean, you have to specify what any meaning kind of is. Like, what do you like? What are you kind of thinking about? He was like, "Do you ever just like, wish for things or just send, things out into the universe or up or somewhere?" He's like, as an example, when I get on the plane, every time I get on a plane, he's like, I say a prayer to like, just for safety. And I was like, no, I don't say prayers because the thing about praying is, why are you going to say a prayer? Do you think that your prayer is going to change an outcome? Like, so I asked him, I was like, well, like with you praying before you get on a plane that you have safety and that the plane doesn't go down, do you think that the plane was going to go down and like there wasn't going to be safety, like you were going to die, but because you pray that you won't? And so I don't really understand I guess I don't really understand what praying is about, because I don't you have to think like praying's going to do something, but I don't really think that whatever's going to happen, it was going to happen anyway. It doesn't really matter if you pray or not. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I was delivery marshal. I'm just popping into the stream. I can't really go over that. I went over it so much at the beginning, but wait until it's published, or you can just go back to the beginning of the live stream and just watch it. I go over it for like an hour. Jonathan A. Scott sends the $5. He says, if there was anywhere in the world you could go, where would it be, Marshall? I would see Santini. Santini! Santini! In Italy. On the cliffs. I'm gonna go see my boy Santini, where it's all okay. He's gonna be waiting there for me. With a wrinkled smile. Yeah, I don't know. Where would I go? Can I say Europe is like just a whole? I would want to just go to Europe. Like everywhere. If I had to pick a place, I don't know. Somewhere where there's like hella cathedrals, bro. Like I'm trying to see some cathedrals. I'm trying to be on some cliffs. I'm trying to walk down some cobblestone roads. I'm trying to sit at some cafes, you know, and just like where people are like smoking cigarettes and stuff, like where that's still allowed. And you know, the chairs are just like they're just those foldable chairs. They're just like nothing. You know. Where at night they light it up and it's just like it's all everything's stone and it's like lit up in like this warm light. It's just everything feels ancient. That's what I want. Santini, you told me to go back to the beginning. That was Fassini. Fassini from The Princess Bride. Who here's seen The Princess Bride? Great movie. Hell of a movie. Some fucking simp propaganda, though. Like everything. Marseille? Yeah, Marseille would be dope. Go to Austria. Western culture ruins everything. Well, Europe was Western culture. So you'd have to say, like, I don't think it's I think the money ruins everything. The money deteriorating ruins the culture. It's not Western. Library Cop, you don't think The Princess Bride was that good? You're tripping. Holy shit. That's the worst take I've ever heard. Oh my god. Library Cop. I'm going to put you in timeout. 10-second timeout. 10 seconds. Terrible. Terrible. Fan meetup for the inner circle? Why do you have a gorilla there? What's up with the gorilla emoji? Gorillas are dope, though. Tell you what. I wish I could just get real close to gorilla and just like pet him and just like kind of look at him without him like, you know, ripping my head off or my arms off. That'd be sick. You gave time out for not liking the movie. You're brutal. I mean, look, the rules are the rules. I mean, not liking Princess Bride is nuts. I mean, that's crazy, bro. I can't even get in the headspace of somebody like that. Robin Wright in her prime, that's absolutely facts. She was fucking smoking. Before she became a skank on Forrest Gump. Maybe it was after Forrest Gump. I'm not sure, but God, she was gross in Forrest Gump, bro. Like she was young. She was young in Forrest Gump, but like she's gross though. Like they did a good job at just making her like, ugh, you've been passed around. Zaya sends another $2. Says meet you at the Cleveland Zoo. Thank you. Cleveland Zoo. You live in Maine. Why are we meeting at the Cleveland Zoo? Yeah, we might have to do a meetup at some point. I don't know. I'm debating. I'm very sketched, you know. I'm very like, I'm just very wary. I'm wary, you know. I don't want no crazy shit going on. Can't be having orgies or nothing, all right? Can't be committing no murder. Okay. Things gotta be chill. I don't know how chill you guys are. Would you ever think of doing a stream movie night? I don't think people would really be interested in watching a movie through a screen that's on another screen. I can't stream the movie on my computer because then that gets copyrighted. Jennifer Hewitt or Robin Wright? Probably Jennifer Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Is Princess Bride a knockoff Robin Hood? No. No, it's not. Is it? I don't know. I don't know the story of Robin Hood. It might be. Maybe it is. I don't know. I just know it's funny as shit. Classic. Library cop, you don't like being touched? What? What are you? Doesn't like the Princess Bride. Doesn't like being touched. She's a ghost. She has like pale skin. Apparently she's a she. Are you actually just a ghost? She wants to be a comedian. You're a strange being. Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt versus Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek, bro. Salma Hayek, I'm pretty sure she mogs anybody. Salma Hayek, I mean, you don't really get better than that. Salma Hayek is just nuts. Not even real, bro. That shit's retarded. Like that shit's actually retarded, bro. Whoever like whoever fucking was piping her in her prime, man, you're a lucky motherfucker. Library Cop says, I like The Princess Bride, just said it's not that good. Doesn't even make sense. Why would you like something that's not that good? Don't try to go back on it. It's all right. Isaiah sends a $2 says, I'm so chill. I went to gay welding school. I can weld. Why do you misspell things? Why do you misspell things, Isaiah? I'm curious. I probably won't get an answer, but it's the Isaiah thing to do, just to not answer you. My mom just asked, "Can I watch Marshall?" She looked at you and she said, "You don't look American." She said, "You look European." Said, "You look interesting." Oh, thank you. Thank you, Allah's mom. Apparently, I look interesting. European from what country? What European country am I from? I'm sure I don't sound European. I'm sure I have an accent to you guys, which is crazy. I just don't think I have an accent. It's crazy. Although my name is Welsh. Well, I'm from, well, I guess that's where my family is from. That's just what I've heard. Jonathan Aiden Scott says the $5 says, Marshall, if you could make a movie, who would it star and co-star? Where would it take place and what would be the plot? Oh my God, bro. That's an impossible question. I don't know, man. I don't know. Probably me. It would star me and Sydney Sweeney. It would take place in a hot tub. And the plot is being kept under wraps. I'd prefer to make a movie with no plot. I'm kind of anti-plot. I want people who watch a movie I make just be like, is there a point to this? Isaiah sends $2 says, Marshall, will I be in the film? Um, yeah, you can be the guy that services the hot tub maintenance and serves the beer to me and Sydney, for sure. You can be the plumber. Yeah, you can be the plumber. You just have no lines, though. You have no lines. You don't get a line. But your crack has to show for the plumber shot. I gotta pee. I play Over the Hills and Far Away. Yeah, you can play that. While me and Sydney Sweeney are making out. Yeah, you can play that for sure. It will quickly turn into an adult movie now. Yeah. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be a porn star, huh? Me and Sydney are probably better than that, huh? Oh, I have to pee. I have to pee. Intermission. Fucking cold in here. Bong turned on the AC. Dying. Gotta untangle this. Dude, I had a crazy dream last night. Sounds like a dream for a cook. What the hell are you talking about? Al, it's the hub. It's not a hub. There's not a hub. There's only the hub. Jonathan Aiden Scott sends $2. He says, "What would the soundtrack be?" Soundtrack would be um probably the Interstellar soundtrack. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? It's me, Sydney Sweeney, in a hot tub. Isaiah, Isaiah's, Isaiah's Flynn over the hills and far away on the guitar in the background, as the Interstellar soundtrack is going. He's also the plumber. He's also the maintenance guy for the hot tub. Man, that would be hilarious. Dying, bruh. I had a wild ass dream last night. I hope Ala's mother's not watching. This is not fit for a mother's ears, but it's just crazy. I actually didn't sleep that well. I woke up and I was awake for 2 hours. from like 5:30 to 7:30. Normally I get up around like 8:30 or 9. So I was just laying there. I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I never like really wake up for this long. Like I'll wake up for maybe 5 minutes, then I'm back to sleep. For like 10 minutes at most. But I was up and like usually it's because I have to drink water. And so I tried drinking water and that still didn't do anything. I was like, what the hell? And so I thought maybe the humidity is a bit high in my room right now. And so I flicked on the dehumidifier. But I did that only after being awake for like an hour and a half. That seemed to do the trick. Once the dehumidifier was on, I fell asleep pretty quickly, but I had a dream about some chick, but she was hot. I don't even know who she was, but she was like a blonde and she was like there was a scene where she was just like in lingerie and she was so hot. It's just one of those dreams where like it feels so real and I felt like I had a flesh and blood woman like in my grasp again. And and then like I like pushed her like put her legs up at one point. She's like wearing a G-string and then like I'm looking directly at her butthole. And like it's just everything looks just like so good. I'm just like, "Oh my god." And I think I even made, I think I even made a comment. I was like, "Oh my god, look at your butthole." uh and I woke up with a sense of lack. Can only get it in my dreams. Just crazy. Should I think about women like that? It's kind of objectifying, but I guess sex is objectifying in a bit, in a way. Very much so. What are you gonna do? Taking 3 hours to pass out is pretty standard for me. That's rough, dude. That's fucking rough. Isaiah sends the $2. Says, not going to lie, that movie idea is something. I agree. I agree. I like it. I like it. Something that's just very confusing to the viewer. Ideally, Isaiah would have the butch tear, where it's just like, buzz all around, like certain patches. Okay, I'm back. What are we talking about? Insufficient says buttholes. Yeah, it's kind of how it's going. When all else fails, you just talk about buttholes. When the conversation's dry, just bring up a butthole. God, I fucking hate my hair today. What are you guys talking about? It says, Marshall, that's what my hair actually looks like. Doubt it, bro. Should we end the stream or should we watch garbage content on the internet? I don't really have anything else to talk about. I'm trying to think. I got some videos. Jonathan Nathan Scott sends the $10, says, unfortunately, I got to go, but I absolutely enjoyed the stream, Marshall. See you on the next one. Thank you, Jonathan Nathan Scott. You had terrific questions, man. Great questions. Appreciated you having you here, man. That was awesome. Thank you for the 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Do we think Isaiah's really left the chat? You guys want to see some wild shit?
To 39 years old, Scott Sinqua. Scott lives here in Phoenix. His nation affiliation is Akmil Otam. His hometown is in Phoenix and Hopi territory. He played high school football for the Hopi Bruins. He learned how to hoop dance, and he learned from Quentin Pepstam. He was inspired by many dancers, young and old, past and present, uncles and brothers. Two in particular, his older brother Samson, Six-Killer Sinqua, and his oldest child, Sonny the Pena Sinqua. His goals are to go back to school, get a degree for his children. He was taught that the hoop dance is a healing dance, and that when we dance, we're dancing for our life. The hoop dance is the dance of life. He dances for those who can't dance and those who want to dance. He dances for service men and women. Most importantly, his ancestors that kept our cultures, traditions, and our way of life much alive so that we could be sharing that today. He's won world titles in 2020 and 2023. Judges are ready. His singers, his drum. Let's bring him out with a big round of applause, Scott Sinqua. Helen Duncan, get ready. Joseph Sikoti, get ready.
This is a jam. Look at that. That's nuts. Someone says I'm watching this with post-nut clarity. Hell yeah, bruh. This is the way it's supposed to be watched. Only with post-nut clarity. Fresh. Some fresh post-nut clarity. I want it fresh. That's the only post-nut clarity I want. Fresh clarity. Is this Chang on the weekends? Probably. Library Cop says I want to do that without being accused of cultural appropriation. Facts. Facts. I think we all do. This is some fucking tough work, though. I'll tell you that much. It looks easy, but it's not. I'm sure this is exhausting. Crazy skill too. Zam said, "Stop laughing at my culture." I'm not laughing, dude. I got nothing but respect for this. ¿Por qué, Marshallito? Wolf White says. What do you mean? ¿Por qué? What's anything? How do you say anything in Spanish? Anything in Spanish. ¿Por qué cualquier cosa? ¿Por qué cualquier cosa? Wolf White. Of course she speaks Spanish, Library Cop. She's freaking... I don't even know what she is. She's Hispanic. She's Latina. Or she's Spanish. Crippin' off the chain. They're doing a mating dance based on performance. Females will select a mate. There's no way Library Cop is a woman. There's just no way. Wolf is Mexican? Wolf, are you Mexican? Wolf. Wolf. Where are you from? Are you Mexican? Are you a Mexican? Are you El Salvadorian? Are you Brazilian? Are you, well, if you're Brazilian, you probably speak Portuguese, so probably not. What are you? Argentinian? Spanish? She's Spanish. Shame what we did to these people, huh? Crazy. But this is no track, by the way. These dudes are literally just right here, banging the drum and singing. Huge motherfuckers, huge Indians, just fucking getting it. They probably just sipped a bowl of ayahuasca and just doing this. This is no track, man. No DJ. It's just dudes, just fucking banging, hollering, like you're supposed to. Oh, this is culture, man. Man, these guys can sing, huh? Library cop says, I want that sound as a ringer for my phone. That's fucking great. I should get a DNA test too, huh? I have to pay for it. Gotta do like an ancestry.com or some shit. It's expensive. I don't know if I care that much. Notice that he has bells. So the bells that you hear are not an instrument that they're playing. The bells are on his ankles. So the bells are constantly in rhythm with the beat. And it never like goes out of rhythm, which is like hella skill. While doing all this stuff, he's also keeping rhythm with his bells. Damn, he's hyped. He's feeling good.
Scott Sinqua.
Scott Sinqua. Hell yeah. Let's give it up for Scott. Huh? Scott, huh? I don't know about that. Your name's Scott? After all that? Tell me your name's Scott? Come on. Shit's dope, yeah.
Yo, welcome to my apartment.
Yo, this space is so small. How much do you pay for it?
$650.
What's the square footage?
80 by 150.
So really it just feels like a walk-in closet,
It's in Midtown, so it's nice because it's not in a random spot.
like in Brooklyn or something.
Like in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
This is the kitchen, no oven.
Are these clean or dirty
Yeah, they're
dishes?
so dirty.
Just
They're
cakes.
so dirty. This is like the only shelving space you have kind of over
Only
here.
shelving, yeah. It's kind of annoying.
This
yeah.
is very like college.
Dude, that would be wild to walk into. You need to go banger and you just like walk into a closet. That would kind of be wild. Damn, look at this. Dishwasher, sink. Two. Stove. Microwave. TV. Is there a bed over here? That's wild. $650 a month. Honestly, I don't know. For $650 a month, I might do that. Where's the room for her shoes? I would hate to live in this. No space to pace back and forth. To pace back and forth. Did you get Loosh already? Yeah, I got Loosh. In the future, we will live up, not out. Warren Buffett. Ah. Not a bad idea, dude. Honestly, why don't we? Why don't we live up? So much more space up than there is out. We gotta start living up, man.
Yes,
It's
great.
so college. Feels
Wearing these yoga pants, bro.
like a dorm, yeah. We have a makeup bin and we have food.
Or do you cook in here ever? That's the real question.
Sometimes, yeah. If I do though, like I'll go get it fresh. This is storage. I just keep like a lot of cleaner stuff up there.
So she doesn't really cook.
So I had food up here originally. There were like mice in the beginning of summer. So I was like, hell no.
The whole mice bugs thing, like any apartment in New York, you can't escape it. You almost couldn't even do an at-home workout in here. That's how small
Holy
it is.
Yeah.
shit.
So you used to live in a luxury high-rise, and then you moved into this tiny spot.
Yes.
And what prompted that?
I was debating if I was gonna move back to LA when this lease was over. So it was a 6-month short time lease. I just found it and I thought it would be nice and convenient. I can travel and not have to worry about a lot of rent.
You basically saved $2,600 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
So should we shift into the living room area?
let's do it.
Okay. Onto the couch, a nice view of the TV. You can almost reach over and wash your hands
You really can.
from the living room if you wanted to.
I work in fashion, so those are all from my magazine that I write editorials for. And then semi-new to New York, a year, so it's like postcards they give you when you go to restaurants. And I'll like write memories on the back of them with like whoever I went with to the place.
So do you primarily hang out like down here when you're at home?
Mostly. Sometimes it's nice to go up there and like read.
This space between here and here folds into a guest room. Can we pull it out?
Hoffenpack, your rent's $300 and you have 3 bedrooms? That's crazy. That's a fucking deal.
Can we see it?
Yeah, that's it.
So everything has to shift to the right a little bit.
Yeah, imagine spending the pandemic in this apartment. That'd be wild.
And then you just pull it out.
This is Surfline, Surf Life. So I'm guessing they're like a surf brand.
It's definitely
no,
a little
no.
stiff.
No.
Very stiff. Like, I have to like buy a mattress pad every time friends come.
And where do you keep the mattress pad then?
Go return it because I don't. It's so big. I mean, look at the closet. It's so tiny.
The cupboard under the stairs.
This is the thing about this apartment is like every time I want to get something out, something else has to move.
Oh, so you have your jackets and stuff there.
Yeah. Just because it's hard to get to, so stuff that I need right now.
Where do you keep your jackets when it is winter?
See where all those clothes are right now?
They do. They're just hanging down from somewhere.
There's literally one bowl that goes across the entire wall up there, and I was like, I have no other choice but to put clothes here. Yeah, it's like a little treehouse, kind of.
Yeah, it does actually feel a little bit like a treehouse. What about your neighbors? Can you hear them?
Surprisingly not. The only one I can hear is the one next door, and his shower is, it must be like right behind that wall.
So the stairs lead up to this lofted space, which is your bed.
Yeah.
Can I try out your bed? This is something I ask everybody.
You can try it out.
I can try it out?
You can try it out.
Oh my
You want
goodness.
me to go first or you want to go first?
You go first.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you have your shoes on. Do you want me to take them off real quick?
Yeah, can you?
This is funny.
What are they about to bang? Like, what the hell is this shit?
We're really gonna know each other.
We are. We just pull it. Thank you.
If you were an old person, you could not live here.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. This is actually insane.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Basically, from this railing to the ceiling right here, that's like the amount of space we have up here. So you ever bring boys up here?
Never.
It's never
Never?
happened.
I tell them like it's actually not possible. It's like they're like we won't judge you, and I'm like no, it's not about judging. It's like you actually won't fit.
The full test.
No way.
It's actually really comfortable.
It is.
Like your mattresses.
Yeah.
We're just close to the ceiling.
We're super close. Don't hit your head. That's how close it is. You really gotta watch out.
Those are purses?
Their purses, bags.
Purses and bags. And then you have some more clothes.
Nah, bruh. That shit's wild. That shit's crazy, bro.
Hanging up over here. We just met, and I'm just like in her bed.
What's this quote? I don't know. Probably just something stupid.
I mean, I guess people do this all the time, but not for a social media video. They're more like, you know, getting drinks at the bar, then they end up in someone's bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, Thaddeus.
I mean, they definitely banged after this.
So you're right there? So how did you find this apartment?
So I found it on Street Easy. I was actually supposed to get the one below me that had a bathroom in the unit and I think an oven, but that was $850 and the girl was like, it's gone, it's taken, like these are going like crazy. And she was like, I have one more open for you. There were so many people touring this apartment when I came.
Really?
And the agent just was like, you're really fun, like I think you should have it. And
So this was a hot commodity.
it was a very hot commodity. It was funny because all the FIT students were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, like we want this.
And so let it be known, this apartment, people want it. This isn't like, oh no, you don't want to live here. You want to live here.
You do, it's an adventure.
Can we check out the bathroom?
Yeah.
She sounded embarrassed. Also, I noticed you keep your shoes out here.
Yeah, I do.
And your neighbor doesn't care here.
No, he's so chill. I've asked him a million times if it bugs him. He's like,
A shared
The shower
bathroom.
looks nice, actually. No, I'm serious. So being a female living in this building and having your shower down the hall, do you ever feel uncomfortable?
No, honestly, but it might be because I know all my neighbors and I feel like I can just like walk out. I can rock out here in town like a robe and it just doesn't matter because like we're all really close. So it's all my skincare and then this is just like kind of essential stuff like makeup brushes and let's go.
Sketchy rooftops in New York City. Whoa, so this is your rooftop. How often do you think you come up here? Like once a week, 7 times a week?
So I work from home like 3 times a week now. So I would say like
I come up here every day.
3 to 4 days. Sometimes I get a little claustrophobic, so it's nice to just kind of like relax up here, read, write, yoga. It just gets so tiny and tight in there, so
What do you do with the dog when you go to work?
I keep him either in the apartment or I take him to daycare in the morning.
The luxury building versus this apartment, which one's better?
This.
Hot take. Hot take.
People need a lot less than what they think they need and learned that here.
Life lessons from the tiny apartment. Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next week. Also, click the like button. Thanks.
That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. Well, think I'm gonna clock out. Is that all right with you, boss? Huh? Yeah, it was a good show. How's your tennis games going? Beat that skinny guy yet? No. I'm set to play him on Monday, but I have some blisters on either side of one of my toes on my left foot. Hopefully they're gone by Monday, but we'll see. I may have to push it to like Tuesday afternoon or something. I don't know. So. Debbie says no. Debbie, where you been? You've just been silent in the chat. I gotta leave. When are you coming back? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Either tomorrow or the next day. It won't be 2 days. But yeah, tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see how I feel, but oh yeah, I saw this question before. I forgot to answer it. It said, before you go, bro, do you feel like you are wasting your time doing this cooped up in a room, not on some dad shit, but for real? This or your old job? Honestly, for real, this. Like, for real. For real. Like, I'm not even joking. I mean, I still don't really know what I'm doing with this. Honestly, I think I'm just having withdrawals from like being a slave, kind of. Like, you're so used to when you work, 8 hours, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week for your entire life, you kind of start to feel like that is normal, right? Like, that is normal. That's the normal way to live a life. And your mind even you feel guilty whenever like you're not doing something productive or you're not doing something, right? And I think that's kind of the hardest part about not having that anymore, is just you kind of have to, your mind, it's like it's addicted to that, It's like you're actually an addict to that stuff. And there is a way to live where you don't have to do that. Well, at least I'm trying to find out if there is, and so far there is. And so, if I only have to work like 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, that beats 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, commuting an hour each way, driving all day, not interacting with people, not doing something that's even remotely fun, except for maybe getting a workout, pulling stuff upstairs, but every other part of it is just not really fun. So definitely it would be this. But the hardest part about doing this is I feel like at first, and I still kind of do, but not as much anymore, feel like I'm wasting time or something, or like I should be doing things, or that like this is just, it's like too good to be true, or like you're offering nothing to the world, like you're not being productive or anything like that. But I don't know. I think if I was just to watch rot content all day online and just stream it, then I think, yeah, maybe that would be shitty. Like, I wouldn't be doing anything productive or offering value. But if I can do streams where I kind of do it my way, where I kind of, I'm more interactive with the chat, and it's more like a social space rather than just like we're all just watching the internet together, then I feel like that's that's valuable. That's giving something that the world probably needs now a lot more, that we're online more than ever, but but Marshall already said he wants to make the most money by doing less. That's true. I mean, I think we all do, don't we? I think we all do. But the key is, like, you want to make money doing the least amount as possible, but you also want to do things that you enjoy. I mean, you're supposed to enjoy your life, you know what I mean? Like, I get, like, people want to be productive, but people are just taking that. I mean, people are just slaves nowadays. Are you really being productive? I mean, you're serving someone else's business or someone else's goals. Yeah, I mean, you feel like you're doing something, you're offering something, you're offering a service to society, but you're not really. I don't feel like people like that are. I don't know. That's good for a lot of people. That's good enough for most people. Let's be honest. But like for some of us, that's it just feels like you're dying. You know, it feels like prison. So and it's just not enjoyable. You know, trying to enjoy your life. You only get one, so you got to enjoy it. People feel guilty about enjoying things. I swear, like this society, if everyone feels guilty about like any second or hour or that they're not doing something that's helping their health or their fitness or their goals or their wallet or their spiritual, whatever it is. Like people are just so addicted to production, they don't know how to just chill the fuck out and enjoy themselves and like not take things so seriously. I mean, it's not all about just go production, get better and better and better and better, because then you're going to reach the end of your life and it's just like, okay, good job, it's over. Like what did I do all that for? You know? So there's an element to all this where like you just have to enjoy it, you know? You have to find some enjoyment. Winter Toes. Thank you, man. 73 Rouge says, thank you so much, Marshall. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That was you seem very passionate. Thank you. I appreciate it. Winter Toes says, I think right now we're in a very strange part in history. I think because human connection has been so strange lately that this type of content is doing a lot more than you realize, Marshall. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I feel like we all got to connect again, you know? But since everything's on the internet now, like people want to connect on the internet. They don't want to, it's not just, people don't want to just consume content all the time, you know? Thank you, Valuing You. Oh, maybe you're talking to Debbie. I don't know. B-Boy says, hey, Marshall, what's good? Not much, man. I'm about to dip. Thank you, Valuing You. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, dog. Good to have you here. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of your day, night, wherever you are, and I will see you either tomorrow or the next day. Stay well. Peace.